And welcome back to the Delaware Boys Dynasty Football Podcast. We're back again. Yours truly, myself, and my boy Ryan on the right side of the screen. Ryan, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Glad to be back on the podcast. Day late, but schedules get mixed up. It's tough out here working 80 hours a week for you, and
Yeah, I apologize. It was an early morning and a long day. Got a little sun, as you can see. Look like a lobster. But as promised, we are back. We're here.
we look just like a lobster. Oh my god!
I know it's so bad. Let's talk. We're going back. We're still strolling down memory lane, baby. 2022 class. Got 4 wide receivers we're going to talk about. Give me a second. Just pull this up. All right, let's do this. Ryan, Jameson Williams. Obviously, this one to me is very tough. Like when I'm gauging a value for Jameson Williams. We saw 6 games last year, and we saw 1 catch, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Granted, he had a big play wiped out in a late game, so I believe it was the Green Bay game. So now he comes back from ACL injury, and now he's suspended. 6 games betting.
Yep.
I mean, like when you're gauging a value for Jameson Williams, what is it?
He's like you said earlier. He feels like an anomaly right now. Like it's kind of like you're paying whatever the owner thinks he's worth. I really haven't seen him move that often. I think owners right now are kind of just like waiting it out. I mean, there's no point in, this is a guy you're drafting in rookie drafts, like what 1.6 to 1.8 range.
Yeah, he was going 1.6, 1.8.
So I mean, with that draft cap, what are you selling for now? I mean, what? I haven't even seen. Have you seen him move at all in any of your leagues?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to gauge where he's at. I mean, you can look at the screen right now. Mega athlete. I mean, he's in the 100th percentile of wide receivers at a 4.3. But like, how do you gauge him as fantasy value when we've only seen like 5-6 games last year?
Saw 6 games.
6 games.
One
we just
play.
showed that.
Yeah, one big play. I mean,
one big play. So like, I mean, it's just one of those things where you kind of got actually says right there, 112 was his average ADP. Is that what that is? Or was he picked 112 in the draft?
ADP is normally 87.8. That's his ADP.
Yeah, that's down 15 spots. Yeah, so it's tough right now.
Yes.
Do you have like a set value on him that you're paying for, or not really?
I'm not paying. I don't think I'm paying a first round pick.
Out of the first round.
Yep.
Pick range.
Mm-hmm. I've dropped him significantly. I'm good.
You good?
He's a guy I want no parts of. I'm good. I'll let somebody else have him. Dead serious. It's just not even.
It's tough to value him. I don't really want him either, to be honest with you. But if I roster him, which I don't in any league, actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I just want to knock that one out of the way. Now, this one's actually really interesting. I'm a big fan of Christian Watson. Big body with a lot of speed. If you look at it across the board, he dominated in college pretty aggressively. He was pretty solid in college. We go down here now. I will say this: it started out pretty slow for him. It didn't really start clicking until week 7, where he had 4 straight games with touchdowns. I mean, he had 7 touchdowns in 4 games. He was playing lights out. But I think the main thing was the targets that he earned over that stretch. I believe it was no less than 5 targets per game, and it was like no less than 45 receiving yards. Obviously, not numbers that stand out drastically to you, but 7 touchdowns. He dominated early. He showed a lot of promise here. I know he won't have Aaron Rodgers, but I think this offense in like general is a young offense to build around. You got Dobbs, you got Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, just drafted. Musgrave, Kraft. I think they did it the right way. I'm
Yeah.
very curious to see how this all plays out for Christian Watson.
Yeah, I think you said all the right things there, so I don't really have much to say. It's just weird with him because I mean, look at it as like, was he good last year because there's Aaron Rodgers' only target? You produce the same thing with Jordan Love. I mean, obviously you saw the numbers up there. He's a mega athlete. Like I said, dominating college, but like, can we see a little? I mean, I guess digression is not a possible thing, but like, if you're looking at like a 11, 1,200 yard season with him with Aaron Rodgers on pace in his later seasons or his later games, like, what are we looking at with Jordan Love?
I believe in. I always buy talent. Talent to me was a huge thing. I've always buying talent over situation. And honestly, I don't think Jordan Love is that bad. I mean, if you look at obviously the sample size is small. But I was very
Right.
impressed in the Eagles game when he came out and he was slinging the rock. I was very impressed. I have nothing bad to say about Christian Watson. Um, I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to be a slow start to the year for the Packers.
Right.
There's going to be some highs and lows. You got to remember Jordan Love has really no game prep. No off season prep, things like that with the ones. He's always played behind Aaron Rodgers and he's played in his shadow, but now it's his turn. So we'll see how it works.
Right.
um, I'm gauging him. I'd pay a first round pick for him. I would.
For Watson,
Yeah, I'll
I
probably
don't know.
go.
I've learned in recent times, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to trade one of my first, maybe ever again, to be honest with you. Like we say, oh yeah, we can give Watson for a 2024 first or whatever and like punt it, you know what I mean? Let's say we have an off season, we end up with a top 5 pick, and then you're going to miss out on like huge talent compared to having Christian Watson, who like we know little
All right.
about.
Well,
So I don't know.
say it's guaranteed like 1-9
1-9.
and later.
Sure. I mean, if I can guarantee it's like past 1-7, sure, but like it's hard to guarantee that.
I'm just saying in general. Just say
Yeah.
it had that.
Then
You
yeah,
know what
I'd
I
give
mean?
late first, sure. But like I said, that comes with like it would have to be guaranteed for me to like make the move.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just
Yeah.
saying too. It's like you have set gauge values on these guys. Like I would I would pay a 1-9 to a 1-12 for Christian Watson, and I feel comfortable doing so.
Right.
Like I said, yeah, people remember he missed 3 games as well last year. You have to take that to an account as well. And like I said, he started out slow, but the mid year, like week 7, week 8 is when he got rolling, and he looked good. He flashed. He showed a lot of potential. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you see those special flashes in guys, and you're like, man, I really want pieces of that. Like I really
Yeah.
want to
I
own
kind
that
of
guy.
want to see what this turns out to be. Can we
Yeah,
scroll down just for context on the unrealized air yards? I'm curious about that. Where he's at?
air yards was
You just
896.
scroll down. Scroll down.
It's right here.
The unrealized air yard. Okay, is that it? Okay, 896.
Total air yards 896. But remember, like I said, he also only played 14 games.
Yeah, the slow start is what kind of killed him. I think he had a run
Yeah,
there
I
where he
mean,
had like what 4 straight games with a touchdown.
yeah, but you also remember
Yeah.
too, like that first game he had the 40-yard deep bomb from Rodgers and he dropped it.
I mean, yeah, but you got to bring. You said, "Oh, I can't say one bad thing about Christian Watson." The last thing you say about him is a bad thing.
I'm just saying it was like I remember watching that. It started out so slow for Christian Watson, man. It really did. It was so
Whoa.
nothing.
Find the S, man. Good God.
Another one of my guys here, man. I think he's being drafted criminally low as well.
I am a big Jahan Dotson guy, so I don't want to show too much bias here. I'll say right up back, I've paid back in first value for Jahan Dotson. One of the things I look for big in receivers is like what routes they can run. I think they dropped his route tree. He's golden on everything but flat routes. And like, who cares about a flat route if you're dynamic as Jahan Dotson is? Like, that's the stuff you like to see in these receivers. I don't think now this could put me in the minority here, but I don't think that Terry McLaurin's like an ungodly force to like take too much away from Jahan Dotson. I think they can coexist pretty well as long as Sam Howell can like do anything in the season. Um, I like Jahan Dotson, man.
Yeah, I do too. I've never paid for him. I've only drafted him. I only have one share,
Boy, let
but
me tell you.
I got him in the 10th round of a startup, which I think was actually really solid value. Um, again, he missed a game. He missed a stretch of games too, but he started out on fire, man. Like I can't remember the exact number, but I want to say it was um
You can go to his game log on this website.
yeah, I know. I'm just like it baffles me that I forgot to, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
forgot this. But like yeah, cuz I was going to say like he started out 4 touchdowns in the first 3 games and he was obviously low target shares, low yardage numbers, but you could see it like I mean,
Right. It's
then he
happening.
missed 5 games, yeah. And then from week 13 on, he was rolling again. Um, so it just he's a solid guy, man.
I like him. I think he misses all those games and then he comes back in those big games. He gets low snap count. I think maybe just playing it safe with him. But as soon as he gets back into that like upper echelon of being on the field with snap shares, I think he was in like the high 70s. That's when like they locked in on him and they can get in
Yeah,
the rock. I mean, he made some catches in the end zone and in the red zone that I couldn't like as a rookie. It's hard for me to, that's the stuff I like to see.
yeah, his hands are sticky. He's always been
Yeah,
like that. He was like that at Penn State. Um, he's he's phenomenal, man. I've always liked him. But the thing was is like and he came with the added draft capital that I never expected. I
right.
always
Yeah,
had him pegged as a second round wide receiver, and then they traded up to get Jahan Dotson, which I never expected that. Um, so that plays a factor as well. Um, the only thing is like he pans out to be like the same kind of wide receiver as Terry McLaurin, same kind of body style, same kind of game style. Um, so like you said, they can coexist. Who's the better wide receiver, like long term? You know what I mean?
uh, like I guess I never thought that. I mean, Terry McLaurin is. I think he's he is what he is right now. I don't think he's going to get any better or any worse. Um, I think Dotson can at least get on Terry McLaurin's level and maybe even be better. I mean, I say that, but it's gonna be tough with Sam Howell at quarterback with the question marks he brings. We'll see what the future has for him. I'm just if he doesn't get a quarterback, I mean, it's gonna kind of fizzle out. But I believe in the talent.
Yeah, 10th round startup. I was
Yeah,
good with it.
yeah, ADP 88. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Now it's time to talk. My
uh,
last area we're going to talk about today. Um, obviously, I'm a little biased here, boys. Uh,
a little.
let's get down to it. Oh man, my boy George Pickens. Okay, you're paying a first as a minority for Jahan Dotson. I'm paying a first for George Pickens. Let's, dude, highest contested catch rate in the NFL. George Pickens, the way at 6'3", 200 pounds. Obviously, he's not blazing speed, but his body, I mean, contorts his body well, plays big well. He knows how to go get the 50-50 ball. Some of the most miraculous catches I've ever seen in the NFL by this man. I think he's special. I think as Kenny Pickett grows, George Pickens grows. I really
Right.
do. Um, Remember, also Deontay is on a restructured 1 year deal. Long term, Pickens is our number one wide receiver. Obviously, if I'm going to make a bet with you that I think he out targets Deontay this season, it probably isn't a realistic bet. But you can see the talent in this kid. This kid's special, man.
Yeah, I think what Jahan Dotson is to me is what George Pickens is to you.
Yeah, I love George Pickens. That's my.
I mean, and I see it. George Pickens, like you said, his body control on some of these catches is insane. That's not something you can like really teach, man. He just has that instinct to like, I'm gonna get this ball pretty much.
Yeah, I'm
And
going
he's a bully on the line too. He plays physical. I like this. I like his play. A lot of people think he's dirty, blah blah blah. I fucking love it. Inject it into my veins.
Love it. Now, granted, the only concern was his target share did drop when Kenny Pickett became the full time starter, especially in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So, but remember, we had Claypool early year. I mean, look at his route participation. You know, he was on the field a lot as a rookie. You know what I mean? And it's tough to like grasp the NFL game. Like George Pickens before the ACL injury in Georgia was, being highly regarded as top 3 wide receiver in his class. You know what I mean? And then he comes back and he shows out in training camp. He plays well. I mean, there was a lot of flashes that made me say, wow, like this dude can be a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
With the average air yards, he was averaging almost 80 yards per game. I mean, he was getting almost 2 deep, like 1.7 deep targets per game as well. It's all going to come together. It all depends on Kenny.
Right.
If Kenny develops like I think Kenny will develop, I think Pickens, we could be talking about Pickens as a top 12 dynasty asset after next year.
Yeah. I've never seen this. This opportunity box for George Pickens is actually blowing my mind. He's clearly they're deep. Your guy's a deep ball guy. Whether they see him as the 1 or the 2, I mean, he can probably get less targets than Deontay Johnson and maybe still outproduce him in fantasy because he gets those deep balls. I mean, average number 3.
Yeah, he averaged almost 15 yards per route.
Yeah, that's wild to me. So if Kenny can put it together, these numbers, man, it's crazy. 1,300 air yards, 19 in the league for George Pickens. That's saying something.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. He's an absolute stud. I don't know what else to say. You know what I mean? It's just he's that guy I believe in, and I mean you can look at it. There's some obviously some.
Like route win rate is not great. That's definitely not
right. But also to remember this, he has that elite catch radius and the elite body control as well. He showed that.
right.
Like I said, year 1 in the league as well. I mean, there's a lot of things like his win rate versus man. He's a lot better winning versus zone as opposed to man. So like I said, there's obviously like when you break these numbers down, there's some holes in everything.
Right, for everybody too. Yeah.
Right. But he's just one of those guys that you can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm paying a first for him regardless.
So of these 4, are you taking Christian Watson or are you taking George Pickens? Pickens. Hey.
I own them both in your league, so
This is true too. Greatest fantasy football league ever created.
I do own both of them in your league. But yeah, you just have to go get your guy, man. Dotson's your guy. Pickens is mine. Obviously, I'm a biased homer, but
a little bit, yeah.
That dude's special, bro. Y'all can hate all you want. I feel like the fantasy football community does not like George Pickens.
No, and there's a big take going around that Deontay Johnson is still that guy. So you still
I
got
mean, he's
people.
good. He is that.
Yeah.
He is good. Like, am I going to sit here and tell you that Deontay Johnson is not good? No, I'm not. He has the ability to win in all situations. He is one of the best route runners in the game. He is. He is. But his play towards the line of scrimmage, that's just what he does. He plays towards the line of scrimmage. If you're going to look for the intermediate and the deep ball, you're going to George Pickens.
Right.
That's what it is. At the end of the day, I think a lot of our offensive system and scheming due to Matt Canada was very bland and blah. I think if we switch some things up with the additions of the offensive line and with Darnell Washington, I think we got a lot to look forward to. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Pittsburgh Steelers, totally, in their offense. I think we can have a top 10 offense.
That all lies on Kenny Pickett.
It does no, it lies on Matt Canada. It lies on Matt Canada.
I don't know, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you still need a good quarterback. But then again, Daboll's making fucking Daniel Jones look like a G. So
I like Daniel Jones. I've always told you that. But guys, we are not trying to rush through this. I just want to be honest with you. It has been a long day. So I just wanted to get a little bit of coverage in here and just wanted to come talk and, talk some football with Ryan and with the stream. Other than that, we're gonna call that a wrap and call it quits here. Ryan, before we get out of here, man, say what you got to say to the people.
yeah, thanks for checking in. Once again, we watched this live stream. If you were with us for this, glad you were here. If not, this will all be going to RPI Football on YouTube. If you missed any of it, gonna kind of keep pumping these out. Sorry for the short stream this week. Things are very tight between the schedules, and thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate you guys. We are out.